Hey, what up, man? It's your boy. Hey, what up, man? It's your boy, and I'm here with MC, but it stands for Incel Crow. I'm gonna puke. Hey, what up, man? Hey, what up, man? It's your boy. Hey, you know what we're gonna do today? You know what we're gonna do today? That's right, we're gonna smoke a cigarette and fuck else, cause it's cold as hell, and I ain't doing none of it. Hey, what up? You know me. It is the will of Awa that I smoke a cigarette. Hey, this is my new phone. I bought it for $60. Curse these taxes, which put me at $131, brother. After Heather sent me some money. I don't know where she's getting this money, but I'm keeping track of it all. And at some point, hey, also look at African women. What? What? Look at African women. And then I look outside and there's a crow just right where the message came from. Why? Why? Why I need to be looking at African women? Where is everybody on this happy Saturday? I don't like that you can see how disgusting my teeth are. Look at that. Holy shit. The dentist, I live in a prejudiced place, man. The dentist literally fucking refused. The dentist was like, no. Why? I'm not a bad person, man. And look, I'm growing facial hair. I look pretty decent, man. I don't know why people are so mean to me. The dentist fucking said no. I was like, can you guys please help? I didn't use a toothbrush for a year because I backpacked, and now my teeth are fucked up. I'm worried it'll be permanent if I don't do anything. And the dentist's like, no. Man, if I was a blue cat person that was twice his size, best believe I'm fucking him up. What up, Joe? Joe Mama. Now I'm a crow. Oh my god, you ever just release in my cough? I suddenly caught a whiff of how I smell, man. It's not great. So we're gonna go outside. This is where I live. I used to be able to kick flip. I don't know anymore. Here's my dream catcher. This is how I get outside. You ready? Get this shit the fuck out. 1, Las Botas. 2, Las Botas. You heard me? Now, we emerge. And we do some big stepping. There we go. It's that easy. Where do I shit? I shat over there the other day. And during the day, I'll go shit over there sometimes. I dropped my phone in the snow and it's very, very cold out. Which means if I drop it again, I dropped the last one and immediately it froze and fucked up my screen. Which means I really cannot be out here without my tripod. And I don't know where my tripod is. To be frank with you. Let's look for it really quick. Maybe it's like right in trash. Get out of here, trash. 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 That's how I'm role playing my neighbors. Get out of here, trash. Okay. It is the will of Awa that I found my tripod. The Great Mother. The Great Mother said I would find it, and I did. Here's my piss. You ready? Where'd everybody go? Cold there been in that cold? Cold there been in that cold? God, I don't like these people. It's so crazy. Nobody likes white people. I certainly am not a fan. And I think white people are a very specific subgroup of the Caucasus. You know, the ones that, you know, that if you don't know the ones I'm talking about, you're the ones I'm talking about. It is the will of Ewa that I'm going to be smoking this cigarette. And I cannot let it fall, or we're going to have a really tough time out here. I thought I farted, but I shat. That's right. Mingma mash, even though I spelled it wrong, but that means give me cheese in French. You can fuck right off with that. Fuck you and fuck the French. Indentured servants. Michigan is now below. It was below zero last night. And I am about maybe 1,500 miles northeast of Michigan. Ming ma 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 mo mo mo. Okay? And I don't want to hear any more French in my chat, or I'm gonna throw a hissy fit. Yeah, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette and connect to the sunlight. Chat, did you know that I have alien blood? My mama told me. RH negative on both sides, O positive blood. That means I'm black, and it means that I'm not a monkey. It means that if you don't have RH negative blood, it means you've got monkey in you. And for some reason, there's a substrate of humans that don't have monkey in them. No Diddy for me. Hey, no Diddy for me. But Diddy for a lot of you guys. But I am black, which is weird. Why do they call black people monkeys if there is no monkeys that have black people hair? Like, what is everything Ming Mamesh crisscross applesauce? Also, the Native Americans are the ancient Egyptians. Name another culture that puts feathers on their arms and dances around with a feather in their head. That's the shit that's in the pyramids and on the hieroglyphs. Don't tell me the Native Americans aren't the ancient Egyptians. Or I'll freak the fuck out. Yeah. Where's the crows? I feel alone without them. I made a bunch of birds go. I don't even want to smoke this, but I'm gonna. What do you say? Upper Peninsula? I'm in Upper Peninsula. Your mom's in Upper Peninsula, and she's been that way for a long time. Okay. No, I'm in Appalachia. I'm on the top of a mountain. I don't like white people in my chat. All they do is just pretend they have testosterone, shit out something stupid, and then say, bud. And that's all you got. You press them on anything, and they just repeat the same thing. They're pretending. They live in the pretend world, and they call it sophistication. And I don't feel like educating them. Your mom's house, Eugen. Where do you live, Eugen? I'm trying to bag me a Siberian baggie in Alaska, I think. Or not. I think I want a Class C RV. And I think I want to make it into a traveling camp. You guys want to see how I live? Look, it was negative below zero. And I'm out here in the woods. No thanks. I'm getting tired of that. You're working your way towards Class C felony, my guy? You're working your way towards these hands, motherfucker. Tech dyslexic? What does that mean? You code backwards? I don't commit crimes. The only crime I technically commit is trespassing. And it's all for technicality, because I'm native. Nice Smokies. American Spirit, which, by the way, the company that makes American Spirit, the tobacco is grown in fucking England. It's not even Rustica. This isn't even native tobacco. I was flabbergasted at such a illusion that was cast over, thinking that this was good tobacco. It's not. Weak-minded. I'll have you know, I'm kind of the only person that isn't crazy nowadays. I think you just do simple deflections. You living off the government and the land. Not really. Do I live off the government? Well, no. And I don't think the government owns this land either. But there is nothing wrong with applying for disability, getting yourself a base camp in Section 8, and then hitting the road and traveling the country. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not trespassing because there's no posted signs. And even then, I'm an asset to the community. Retirement account, you got a 401k company match. We only live once, and we only live for a short time. You know, I'm not really worried about it. I've kind of decided I don't really want to waste my life, like waste a third of my life just to pay. Let me say it correctly. I don't want to waste 12 hours a day doing something that I hate that makes me feel horrible just to pay to live in an electric box that I don't like being in for maybe 6 hours a day before I'm back out. So I really value the journey. If you guys are new, I've been homeless since I was 14 years old. I'm 26 now. I had sort of a brain injury, and I was in public housing for a couple years, and it was the worst experience of my life, and I was a homeless child. For me to be a homeless child and say that being in Section 8 was the worst experience of my life, it sucks. Also, BlackRock, that owns everything, is the black cube of Saturn, the all-seeing eye at the top of the pyramid. Inside the Star of David, the Jew symbol, is a 3D cube. When you fold the Christian cross up into a cube, and Mecca, the Islams worship the black cube, that's an ancient cult. Just like the Jews sacrifice animals still, Old Testament, you don't think they're sacrificing people on Epstein's Island? Didn't it just come out that Trump watched a bunch of people take a baby after they sacrificed it and chuck it into the river or the lake or something? I'm allowing the white people today because I want to see what they say. So, the Jews have publicly stated that they bred white people for hundreds and hundreds of years. They gave them slaves to make them feel like they were superior while they slowly took away the education and disconnected them from nature. It is the will of Awa that I am here. You do have a brain injury? No, I checked. I'm fine now. But there was something messed up. Could have just been that, you know, it was just a bunch of bad, traumatic stuff all at once. And then I decided to travel homeless. And it was the best experience of my life. You know what I'm saying? So, the whole point was to destroy the food supply and get you guys stuck until you worked long enough and you believed that white was right. You know, you believed you had the thing because they just fed you propaganda. For generations and generations and generations, they allowed you to build their society until they have robots. You can look at Tucker Carlson with the guy from the AI that says that they're all obviously worshiping demons and they're talking to a greater intelligence that is not benevolent, that speaks to them in ritual, and they've built robots for that machine as a gateway to communicate to the other side. You could just find that. They say it publicly. They don't care anymore. What a crazy world that the only person that is willing to stand up and say, yeah, that's happening, is fucking Putin. And he was like, I don't even really want Ukraine. It's just that these guys are so bad. They've given me no choice because they're moving NATO so close to us and they're violating their treaties and obviously doing a militaristic presence against Russia that it left me no choice. That I kind of have to do this. And then what are they doing now? Now that Trump's president? Invading Venezuela, invading Nigeria to get to Niger, because Niger is the biggest supplier of uranium. They're creating wars to invade countries, guys. And Trump is in the Epstein files. But Freemasons, this Satanist cult I've been talking about, they leave hints. Because what did they do before phones? They made books. And you can find those books. And that's how they would signal their messages across their vast network without it being publicized. They would do it in codes like 33. Gatorade, the big G in gematria, if every letter has a numerical value. The word orange adds up to 33 because Jupiter, Zeus, orange, capital 33, or capital G is 33. That's why Mike Tyson showed his bare ass to the camera before he went and lost to Jake Paul. And he walked through a big door that was orange with the big Gatorade logo. Because it's a Freemasonic symbolism and ritual. So, they have a quota for human sacrifice. If you look up Baal, B-A-A-L, you know, that satanic deity, and look up his birthday, it's fucking Christmas. But also Baal, the horned god, Cernunnos, like Cern, C-E-R-N, Cernunnos, the Irish pagan god of the wild. A good representation if you're younger, if you've seen Avatar with that deer person with the hands underneath the Candy Kingdom that kidnapped everyone and stuck them like branches of a tree. That's Baal or Cernunnos, and his birthday is December 25th. Venezuela kicked out the World Central Bank. Who knows what's real? Yeah, Krampus and all that. But the point is just that they allowed for this suburban delusion, keeping up with the Jones. They let them believe in sophistication and that they were doing the right thing. And I'm sure American society was great. And regardless of how great it was to eat some hoagies at the baseball game, which is the Freemason logo, you know, the baseball diamond, literally the Freemasonic thing, and that logo with the V and then the, you know, the ice cream cone shape is the black sun or the black David Bowie's Black Star, or that pentagram behind the Baphomet or ball, like Trump's ballroom, which is saying it's just showing evidence in hints that the world is a flat plane. Are you a girl? Why does this white woman insist on being such a cunt? The one and only Nicole? I know a lot of Nicoles. You're not the one and only. Get a job and get off EBT? I'd like to get a job. I've been waiting on my birth certificate for months. If you didn't know, I was top dasher in a city. I would go for 16 hours a day, and I would make music in the studio at night. My car broke down in the mountains. I'm in the mountains. My car broke down. And I have it documented. I went to every business in town and I said, hey, I'm sorry, but I was a traveling nomad because I was young and I really want to work. I'm motivated. I have amazing dreams and goals and things I want to do and people that I'm looking after. I was traveling around trying to find a good community for me to finally purchase land. I wanted to travel around the way I was doing because I like the adventure. Whether I'm a Sagittarius or not, I love the adventure. So I decided to travel around and see which town fit me the best so that I could buy land. Once I got a couple acres, then I would get my friends and my brothers out of their environment and put them in a place where we could create all day. I'm a certified audio engineer. So, when I broke down here that week, I mean, the first week, I had my big Kundalini awakening where I realized, okay, I'm a co-creator of this reality, and God is much greater than I realized, and God is in everything. I was able to actually be in harmony with the universe. And immediately, like this happens over and over and over again, a man with a COVID mask ran in with a baton and attacked me. And I had to pick him up over my shoulder, whip him on the ground after fighting him for my hatchet, and beat him with the hatchet and chase him out of the laundromat. He got in his getaway car. I hit the getaway driver's car and said, he just tried to kill me. And then he was like, let's get out of here. And they slammed into a lamppost and left. And after that, rumors went around. Couldn't go anywhere. Couldn't really do anything. It gets to be -60 out here some nights with the wind chill. But right now it's about 0 degrees. I would say with the sun, it's probably a bit higher, but last night it was about -5. It's pretty normal around January, February to get to -5, 10 during the day and like -11 at night. Last year it was -60, about 100 miles north where I was. So, I mean, it's all on the channel, you know? Why would I lie? You know what I'm saying? It's not for you guys. I don't care about you guys. It's the whole point, you know? I don't do this for you guys. I'm finally free, singing outside with the birds and the bees, swaying around like the leaves in the breeze until we get tired and fall asleep in the trees. Dream of a world where nobody is mean and we only scheme of the best way to wake up the people not ready to feel it. My love is eternal. My love is eternal. And that makes the crows mad. Hear him? My love is eternal. Whoa. Robot dogs. Mosquitoes with vaccines. Stubborn white pride in a big truck. Hold me here in the evergreens. Nuclear bombs ain't got nothing on me. My love is eternal. My love is... Yeah, Daryl, I'm here. My love is eternal. Let me find me lighter again. Where have I put me lighter? I just used it to light. I'm used to it, man. I've been homeless since I was 14. This is my 4th or 5th winter, I think, without heat at all. I started off just hiding in my hoodie in the back seat of my Dodge Magnum with nothing, fighting for DoorDash orders, and I would go in at night to like supermarkets to be like, when you throw out your chicken, do you mind just putting it in a bag and leaving it by the side, and I'll come back? And they go, get the fuck out of here, you junkie. And I was like, well, will you hire me? They're like, fuck no. And I said, okay then. So then I would take the rotisserie chicken and I'd walk the fuck out. It is what it is. And when they were nice to me, when I was on food stamps, which it might be ending soon, when I was on EBT, without this like volunteer work requirement, which I do have some type of situation that allows me to get my volunteer hours in while I wait for my birth certificate. Oh, the point is that you could ask anybody. Every month on the 1st, everyone that was nice to me, I go in and I offer to buy them drinks. Because without them, you know, before these people working, before these Native Americans that are working here, when it was the fat loser colonialists, the stupid white people cut off from Iowa, you know, the will of Iowa, they're cut off from the Great Mother. They would say shit like, oh no, we don't take food stamps. I'd be like, well, I'm looking for a job. And then they would just, and they'd walk away. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So I do my best, and I love what I've been through. I hated it. It's suffering. You can find a lot of videos of me when I finally break down and I'm crying like I don't deserve this. You know, like when my brother froze to death this year, my little brother froze to death. And I'm out here homeless. He wasn't, and he fucking fell and froze to death. And I'm like, what does God want from me? What makes me so special? Oh, the point was is that just talking about how the town had like a stigma against homelessness, and it wasn't me, it wasn't my character, it was the idea of me, which is why I'm talking about they're trapped in delusion. Because obviously I'm a good person. I think I'm pretty smart, at least. I don't claim to be a genius, but when I was 14 and when I went into the system, they did an IQ test and I got 120 at first, and then they came back the next week and I got 140 on an IQ test. I smell like onions? Man, I had a pizza with onions on it, man. You might be a psychic. I got a pizza with some onions in there. The point was is that I called the state police and said, "Hey, I just wanted to say thank you." And this is after they tried to illegally search me twice. They gave me a hard time a lot because they were just convinced if he's living in a car broken down, he must be a junkie dealing drugs. And that's not the case. Swear to God. But they treated me like shit. And eventually I called them just to say, "Hey, I just wanted to say thank you for not taking my car. I'm sorry it's been here for I think a month at this point. I finally got into town and met somebody that's willing to take the car and scrap it and give me some money in my pocket so I can move on with my life." And then they fucking took the car and they sold it for themselves. And that had my forms of ID. It had my music studio. It had everything I owned. And I was forced to just walk into the woods and I found an abandoned sugaring shack that had been built 100 years ago. And people said that they've been like people that were 80 at the retirement home here said that they'd been going there with their friends for like their whole life. Everybody goes there. So I stayed and I made it, I cleaned it, I saved up with donations and got a rake and shovel and made it nice. A robin moved in and made a nest and I named it Vivek Robin Swami. And this year its babies came in and I named it Clint Barfin and Natasha Robinoff. And I raised some robins and chickadees and stuff, and it was great. Had amazing supernatural experiences. Like the shit that they tell you not to talk about now, that shit, it's real. And I'll say to beat the crazy allegations, not that it matters, but I will wait until I have an experience multiple times, and then I will look online and if I can find at least 3 other people that talk about the exact experience I have, then I allow it to hold weight and not just be a passing thought. So when I tell you things like I asked for an alien to visit me, I'm like, what am I? What, if you guys are just watching me and we're like in an ant farm or something, who's gonna believe me? Who's gonna believe the crazy homeless guy? So just like show yourself and then move on. If one of you guys up there are itching to do it, let me know. And then I fell asleep and then I woke up and there was a praying mantis on the hood of my car and it stayed there watching me, hanging out with me for 2.5 hours. And then I was like, that's really weird. I was like, bing bong, fuck your life, bing bong, with the phone camera. And then I just kind of left it be. But then the next day, or maybe even that day, I opened my phone and I'm scrolling on shorts. And one of the first things is Joe Rogan sitting with some guy. And he looks at the camera crazy, Joe. And he's like, what if aliens are actually giant praying mantises? This was in 2022. What if aliens are giant praying mantises and they're really like 10 feet tall and like stronger? Like a tank is not going to be able to blow through their thing. What if they're just like showing us little versions of themselves so that we can kind of get used to something as freakish as that to see how we would accept them or maybe come to, desensitize ourselves to that something so uncanny. And I shit you not, that week I saw Nope about the alien. It's a Western about that black brother and sister that work at that ranch in Hollywood. And the Asian man is like, hey, come on, aliens. And then it eats them. and they're trying to catch a video like they're catching a stallion. And then every time they tried, or when they tried to get it on video, a praying mantis flew in front of the camera and blocked it like this. That was surreal. Ming mom. Some humans are half. I mean, I have Rh negative blood on both sides. It's the least monkey I could possibly be. And I'm born on the 11th, like Joe Rogan is born on the 11th. He's a Leo 11, which means that everyone gravitates around him, and he's the gateway to higher and lower dimensions in numerology, which is made by Freemasons. It's what numbers are fucking for. Is numerology. That's the reason that we have fucking numbers is because it's assigned embodiments of the infinite in mathematical patterns, which is how God speaks to us. So, and there's 11 people in the chat. 11 is the gateway to higher and lower dimensions. It's the first master number past 9 because 10 is just 1. So it's 1, 9, and then 11, 22, and 33. That's why black and white, when you see people are like 11, 11, and the Freemasons have that checkerboard pattern, it's because black added up in gematria numerology is 11, and white added up is 11, and orange is 33. That's why Gatorade, capital G, is 33. If A is 1, B is 2, Z is 26, whatever, capital G is 33. So that's why Gatorade has that big G. And it's orange. And that's facts. I don't know. I can't tell you exactly why, but I can tell you that that stuff is true. With a pair of boots, if you have any. I do have a pair of boots, but I don't have the money to mail it to you. I have my muck boots. I have my Timbs over here. And then I have another pair of hiking boots. But I don't know if I can really get rid of those. I might want them. He needs T-Gym. It's also an odd number. 11 is an odd number. But Joe Rogan's an 11, and he's a Leo, which means he's a gateway to higher and lower dimensions. And he's a Leo, which means that he grew into success, and his sole purpose is to have the people orbiting him that he's fueling. So what did he do? And Leos go in stagnant location to stagnant location to stagnant location. That's why Joe's magnum opus is his podcast, Stagnant Place, and his mothership, the comedy club, that stagnant place. And he's big because of everyone that orbits Joe. Alex Jones is an 11, but he's an Aquarius, which is the rebel, which is fighting back against Saturn. It's the shooting through and the perseverance of their dreams in righteousness. So, of course, Alex Jones blows up because he's an activist and is righteous, screaming against the Matrix. Aiden Ross is a Libra 11. He's not the court. He's not justice. Libra isn't about justice in court proceed. Whatever. Libra is the balance between two opposing forces, which is why Aiden Ross sits in the middle, and he has the suburban kids on one side and the rappers on the other. And that's how he blew up. Was acting gay to a bunch of rappers and blending suburban whites with real hardcore street guys. And then revealing that they're not much different and they're all gay. That's Aiden Ross. And I'm a Sagittarius 11, which means that I should be coming into success in conjunction being the philosophical bridge between the underworld, earth, and the heavens, and the connection between man and nature, the elder tree in Celtic mythology, or Celtic astrology, and a traveling adventurer who has gone through so many life experiences that they naturally understand the way of life on earth, and the way to enlightenment is the path of spiritual childhood. To be spiritually a child is just to have fun and be this righteous, motivated momentum, because all that other shit is bullshit anyway. You're supposed to be like water, but with this righteous creativity and wisdom from past lives. You know what I'm saying? Is Joe Rogan gay, or did he turn gay because of the industry? I don't know. Is Alex Jones gay? I don't know. Is Aiden Ross gay? I don't know. But I know that pretty much all of them, the more they get into the industry, the more gayer they seem. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gay. I know my voice might be a bit higher pitched. Doesn't stop girls from liking me. You know what I'm saying? One of my exes told me once that I'm God's gift to bisexual women. Because I'm the best of all worlds. but I'm not talking about getting pegged though. You know what I'm saying? I had one dream once that a girl ate my ass, and I felt it so vividly. I woke up and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I didn't find it enjoyable. I wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't do it in real life. But I was like, I'm glad that I had that experience. I'm glad that it was a girl that did it in the dream. If that was like an alien or a demon trying to get in me or whatever, I don't know what it was. And it was only for like a second. Like the tongue just shot up and I felt it and I woke up and I could still feel it. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? But now I'm like, okay, maybe I needed to learn that to get that out of the way. I don't know. It was essential for my growth. And now I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'll never need that again. It probably was a demon, but I'm glad that it chose to be a girl because if it was a guy, just to beat the gay allegations, if it was a guy that tried to do it, I probably would have killed him in the dream. I have a lot of dreams where I'm killing things. You know, it had to be a girl. Yeah, it like shot a fucking tongue up my ass, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I woke up from the dream immediately, and I could still feel it. Not like it was there still, but like I could feel like something had happened in my sleep. And I was like, "That's weird." Hi, squirrel. That's my squirrel friend. We go way back. By way back, I mean I've been here a month. You know what I'm saying? Big woke up, killed myself in a dream, and continued the dream. Hey, you're old and you're lonely. Sorry. Where am I at? Spaceman on planet Earth. I'm on a mountain. Squirrel's dinner. Squirrel's not dinner. Unless I need it. But I don't need it. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the state police took my car with my IDs and stuff. And I'm from I was born like pretty close outside of New York City. So I've been calling them since August and I've sent the application in the mail with the notary and the check for $10 and I've been waiting on that application for almost 5 months. Until I get that, I don't have two forms of ID and there's nothing I can do to get a job. I've tried. I finally got a gas station to hire me because I've been here now for long enough that they ran out of excuse. So they wouldn't take my high school report card with my picture on it as a second form of ID, and I don't have my social security number. I know my social security number. I don't have my card because it was in my car. So until that birth certificate comes, I'm shit out of luck. What am I eating tonight then? I got a pizza. On the weekends, the gas station has a good deal on pizza, so I got pizzas. And I shouldn't because I'm at $131. The tent stove I'm looking for, the cheapest one I can buy that has good reviews, after taxes, it's like 140. It's 139 something. So I'm short $9. And I don't know what to do. I'm not asking Heather for no money, you know what I'm saying? It's fucking Christmas. She sent me a lot. Like I'm at $131 and I just spent $30 on pizza and drinks for the week and 2 burritos. And I'm going to eat that pizza tomorrow and I have drinks to get me through. And I shouldn't have done it, but there's no really other option. That's the only place that sells like it would be just as expensive. Like the only alternative when you live out here, your only options is chips and protein bars, and those are really up here in the mountains. It's really expensive, so it would have been like really detrimental. I would have been like instead of buying that pizza, I could have bought maybe a bag and a half of chips, which wouldn't do really much anything for me, and I would just feel like shit after. I've offered to shovel snow. I've made posts on the local Facebook page. I've told them my situation and showed them for months that I'm a positive influence on the community. I'm not like the stigma around homeless people, and I just like this way. And I think everyone should live this way, actually. I think this is the right way, at least the way I want to live my life. I do want to grow from it, but I don't want to grow from it the traditional way. I don't want to put myself in an electric box and save up money and go back out in the woods. It just seems like a big waste of a lot of time. Like spending a third of my income on rent to be I don't want to be in. It's just pointless. You want to see my life? It would be a lot worse. because I didn't brush it for 2 years. So it used to be like clumped up and everything, like disgusting. I couldn't run my fingers through it. Now I can, but I had to do shit like this, and it was extremely clumped. And on the back here, this clump right here, when I would do it, it was fucking this black, disgusting tar covering my whole hand with grease. But it took me about a month. Like every weekend, I'd finally be able to sit out and charge my devices at a closed business and just do this for hours. And eventually, I got it manageable. And now I just brush it every few days. But that's me. Just wear a braid. Yeah, but the problem is that the braid like dreads. Oh fuck, it's a fucking bald eagle. Wait, you'll see him. It's a fucking bald eagle right to left, fuckers. You fucking accuser of the brethren. And my squirrel's going off right to left. It's a good day for me. But that could end in an instant. If this phone drops. I should probably use my heat shield or just flip this pallet over in case it falls. Oh, come on. Howdy. I would really love to play Robert Baratheon as a child. If they ever do a Game of Thrones spin-off where Robert Baratheon and he's fighting the Targaryens, fucking the whore is pregnant. I gave my no. Clean the camera, clean the camera. Clean the fucking camera quick. My aura was too powerful. My aura was too powerful. You're never alone. You know that. You should know that by now. We're never alone. Here's my plywood. Okay, what's my charge at? Should be 37. Now, that will never happen again because I did it smart this time. There we go. Do you have a spear or something? Bears will be out in a few weeks. I had my first real confrontation with a bear a few months ago every night for like 2 weeks. I waited for the bear to go check out my trash, and then I would pull the phone out and I was trying to chase it through the woods. And I got it a couple times. I got its cubs mainly. It was a mama and 2 cubs. Those things take off. They're fast as hell. I'm not muted. I'm not muted, you're muted. How about now? Good? Don't tell me it fucked up. Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Good? Okay. Fuck you guys. I did chase a bear through the woods for like 2 weeks. Because I was like, I'm not going to be out here for nothing. I'm going to make something of myself. And I figured if I could get it on video of me chasing a bear down and scaring it, I don't have to kill one to prove that I could. You know what I'm saying? You know? If I had a rifle in that situation, I could have killed it 5 or 6 times. I don't have to. So, it's good enough. I did just as much. I did more than a Diddy would love me, but I'm no Diddy. But I also had it like 2 weeks later, I had a dream that I was chasing the bears through the forest and they ran through this side clearing and I went to chase him down with a camera, and a brown bear was sitting there, and a brown bear was like, "Okay, come on, you want to do it?" So it chased me, and I was like, "I'm out. I'm fuck." And I could. It was fast. I got over onto the highway. I climbed on top of a sign, and it climbed on top of the sign and followed me to the middle of the highway. And then I fell, and the bear fell, and then some guy came out and shot it with a pistol. And that was in a dream. Where's Bear Bear? E1, he's right there. Grizzly bear would have swallowed all of us, man. I was here, but I was 3 miles into the mountains on top of a mountain that's about 1,500 feet up from where I am now. I don't know the exact sea level difference, but I know the difference in the elevation between the town and there because there's a sign. True story. Tom O.B. No pants. I'm wearing pants. No, there's no it's just black bears. But it was a massive black bear. I would say it was a normal. If I'm 6 foot tall, which I'm not, I'm like 5'10. It says on my license, and I'm wearing boots, which add maybe an inch. So let's say I'm 5'11. A normal black bear, because I was wearing Tim's at the time. A normal black bear is roughly at my waist, and its shoulder height is about 3 to 4 feet. Its back is about 4 to 5 feet. A big one is 5 feet. This bear was about at my, its like arms, its shoulders were like up right above my sternum, like right below my pecs, and its back was a bit higher, like close to here. It was fucking massive. You could tell that just nobody would go out there to kill it. And it was a mother which had 2 cubs with it, and the cubs were the size full. Whether in the by the winter, maybe they were born in the spring, and by the winter they're adult size, or they've been going for a few years or something. They were full size black bears, or they were traveling in 3. Homeless, not really, but I live outside. I've been homeless where I have absolutely nothing, and I'm like curled up in a hoodie or sleeping in a dryer. But now I've got a pretty decent thing going. So I wouldn't consider myself homeless. I just consider myself living outside. It's not a bad thing to not want to waste your life paying rent. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're like a nurse or something that has some good money in your pocket and you have an active social and sex life, or if you have kids, that's the only reason that you should be living in an electric box. The only real reason you should be living in an electric box and paying rent is if you're bringing baddies back to it and having sex. Really, the only reason for anything in life really is sex, if you think about it. So that's the only reason I would say live in an electric box. The only problem is that America made it impossible. They made it a crime to not pay rent, which means that we're slaves. I have gotten some baddies outside, but I went to their apartment. And they did want to come to my tent, but at the time I was in a swamp. And it was moldy, and it was every time I slept there I got sick. And I mean, the vibe was immaculate out there, and I knew she wanted it, but I didn't do it. Cuz the world's gotten spiritual and a lot of people have gotten fucking insane. So no matter how bad this yoga instructor that I was seeing while I was homeless for a couple weeks in 2023, she also had an altar and crystals. I don't trust that they're not stealing vibes and stealing energy, creating soul ties and doing witchcraft like our politicians do. So I didn't do it. And I'm glad I didn't do it because afterward, I tell on the channel that everyone who graces my presence goes insane. And I think it's because of temptation. I think the enemy will work with whatever vessel is available. It just is what it is. And I also think that at a greater level, it's a reoccurring cyclical test from Saturn to slow you down and put you towards alignment in a way that you have to deserve and achieve your blessings. So yes, it sucks and it's traumatizing and it's horrible, but it's also a challenge. I think that we die exactly when we're supposed to die. In the greater scheme of things. Do I work? I'm much better functioning than I was, but I'm sure I don't work as well as I could with the cigarettes. Capricorn the fishy goat. Yep. Satan or Saturn or time. 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, in 6-hour intervals, 666. Time, the ring of Saturn, constricting us, keeping us bound in the illusion that we're separate from the infinite, which is happening everywhere all at once. Slowly raising to the age of Aquarius, where this realm will literally shed away for the chosen ones and our spirit will remain. And the people that don't will be trapped and cast into the lake of fire, whatever that means. That could be a volcanic eruption, Yellowstone, it could be nukes. How would you describe, these situations to people 2,000 years ago without giving them the sauce? You don't want to accidentally trigger, but it's always been the case. It's always was supposed to happen either way. But you didn't want them to see a plane in their mind, even though there are hieroglyphs of helicopters. Who knows how long ago? Am I able to save money living the way you do? Not really. I go purely off donations, and it's mainly just from one subscriber. That's mainly my only source of income is one subscriber. That I thought the deal was that they would be paying me their tithe instead of the church, but this month she gave a lot, and that went to a new phone. I had to get a new phone for this. Phone service, so that's already 100. And now I'm at 131. And I'm trying to get to 140 so I can buy a tent stove. I have a hatchet. I have a bunch of firewood. I have these pallets. I saved up and bought a cabin tent. That's what I spent the money on. So that I'm never stuck in this situation again. I'm going to be living in a more stable, nice place. So I'm never trapped. Because this is my setup right now. It's fucking held up by faith. Literally, it's like one leg is completely broken. And I've jury-rigged it. So any gust of wind might be able to knock it over. And it's cold. It sucks. But I love it. And I think every man, to be a man, should do it for at least 2 years. Because you can't get to this place. Hold on. Come on, bitch. What the fuck? I mean, that's fine. It was, said it better than mine. I live in a house. Well, you don't have to worry about, at any moment, someone could show up over there and shoot me. And sometimes they get mad. I've had people shoot me. At me. Not shoot me, but at me. Last winter, or I think it was November maybe, or yeah, like early November, somebody shot at me on a trail. They pulled up and shot near my tent and missed me by 10 feet. This spring, somebody pulled up to the road that faces my sugaring shack that I was on top of this big hill in the woods, and they fired a shot, and then they drove off. It's people see this as an opportunity. So, I've been in danger a lot. It's happened a lot. And that's why I think every man should go through. I don't think, even if you went in the military and you had your buddies and you were overseas and the enemy was right there and it was violent, I still think that there's a distinguished, dignified separation between that and being completely alone in a place where you are the enemy, completely alone with absolutely nothing, and at any moment you could get attacked, and you do get physically attacked, and having to learn to survive with nothing and see how you get to the other end of that. It's the only rite of passage we have access to. You know, in Sparta, you'd have to go into the mountains and come back with a wolf pelt. I went into the mountains and I made it. I don't have a wolf pelt, but I chased a bear a couple times. Am I on privately owned land? There's no place in America that isn't privately owned land, and that is a schizophrenic delusion. But there's no private property signs posted. Apparently, people come and go from this place living here all the time. Am I a felon? No. So it sucks. There's no, like, if you go outside if you just look out your window, there's nowhere that isn't private property. Because if I were to pitch a tent on the sidewalk, they'd get me off the sidewalk. So it's only as public as they want you to believe. But it's not public. It's an American Spirit menthol, and I'm almost out of them. And I'm saving for the tent stove, so I can't get more. So I'm going to be fucked, but it's all right. Unless anyone wants to blush my Cash App with $20, or I need 30. I'd need 30. It is what it is. But that's the next goal. If I can get to 100 I need 101 more watch hours, and then I can do super chats. So I'm not going to say what state I'm in, but it's pretty easy to find. Oh, Ryan O'Brien. Why don't you join the military like I asked you before? First off, I don't like your tone, man. Bon White, you're on thin ice, buddy. Why don't I join the military like I asked you before? Why don't I join the military? I've been offered a lot, especially when I was young, because I said I had 140 on an IQ test. So obviously, I was visited by a lot of different people when I was 14, and then they stopped for a while. Then they showed up when I was 17 again, and I just decided music was better. Like, in my personal philosophy, I decided the best way I wanted to live. You know, when I think about the most perfect way that I could spend my life, I wanted to dedicate a good portion of it to this rugged survival. I didn't realize how insurmountable the odds would become, how violent and cold and alone I'd become, but I overcame it. And now I really only get along with veterans, to be honest. Like, I feel like an alien, and then when I meet like an old vet, it's like I feel closer to them than I can. To everyone else, they see me as like this broken, you know, their stigma and their delusion gets in the way. The story of Casey gets in the way, and they can't really see me. And when I speak, it's like they act like I'm punching them when I speak. But when I talk to veterans, it's fine. Kevin. Yeah. Make a stove out of a paint can or something similar. I have a wood stove over there. I'm trying to sell it. I got it for free. It's accumulated some surface rust from a freak rainstorm that happened maybe a week ago. It was 50 degrees and it rained for 12 hours. I don't know what that was, but so a bunch of surface rust. So I brought it down. It's worth 500. I listed it for 350. With the surface rust, it's a Vermont Castings 1990 Intrepid 2. Everything works. Everything's functional. It's got some cracks in this one small thing that leads to the catalytic converter. Doesn't affect anything at all. It works perfect. The firebox is in great shape. And the rack of the firebox, no warping, no cracks at all. It's great. Worth a lot of money. So I put it down to 250, and we're going to see who bites. I've got a couple people interested. I've been trying to do it, but there was this guy that took a lot of pride in helping me. But then when it came time for like the final stretch, he had kind of said, privately he had told me that he likes to take credit for helping me. And it kind of made me realize, you know, there was something more to it. There was something more to the fact that as soon as he got a lot of evidence that he had helped me, then he tried to take my money. He tried to get paid for helping me once everybody thought he was helping me. Then he tried to under the nose of everybody, once it had already been established how much he had done for me. Then he tried to get paid for it, and I was like, that's fine. I kind of like that better. Eliminates any drama. But then he was like, no, we'll keep it as charity. I was like, okay. You know, we could have been friends. It didn't have to be like that. Sorry you think I'm so miserable. Crow. But either way, once his reputation had changed or whatever, all of a sudden he's not motivated to help me. That's what he said. He said, I'm just not motivated enough. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So I had a guy lined up that was willing to pay $350, but as soon as I was about to get $350 in my pocket, the guy got cold feet and stopped helping me. And I was like, it's not a, I don't know, but the point is that when people hang out with me, they seem to devolve to their worst stuff, and I always feel like it attaches to me, and then I get stuck in the woods, exalted in isolation, and I have to learn how to fight back, and I overcome it, and then I go and confront the people and maintain the, whether it's Irish or Native or whatever, the sense of peace that I have, or just Casey. I've learned in my travels how to rampage through the bullshit and make everything better and set an example and lead. But it takes a lot of like the worst narcissists you can imagine is what are the people that come into my life. The last person before this Leo was another Leo. Same 4-letter names. Like this guy had a 4-letter name. The guy before him had a 4-letter name. 4 and Leo go together very strongly. Like Harry Potter was July 31st. He's a Leo, born on 3 and 1 is 4. My cousin's also born July 31st. He's a Leo. And then this other guy is born on the 4th. And the other guy was born on the 22nd. So it's this recurring cycle of 4 and Leo. For whatever reason you want to come up with. It's just a pattern I'm recognizing. The other guy he made this movie. He was getting money from royalties. He's writing a book. He was learning guitar. He seemed like a cool guy. Gave me $300. Brought me to see my family. My Venmo's in my it's just Casey O'Brien 1133, but you can find it on my channel description. I'm trying to get $30 so I can get a tent stove and have some money left over for food, or maybe I might buy a pack of cigarettes. I'm not sure yet, but I definitely need at least $11 for the tent stove. So that's, you know, anything else would go towards just random stuff I might need. Like it could go to hand warmers or whatever. It just depends on where I'm at, you know. But divination like Zodiac is a sign. I thought when you separate the Zodiac from God and you base yourself completely on that one avenue of the infinite, it is bad. But when you see it as a hint that you had a character creation and you were chosen, it's more like a hint. It's a pattern that you can recognize to find your true self and to help you find your infinite self. It's like a road you can take. When you identify specifically with the road and not yourself, that's bad. You have to be infinite, but you have to remember that you're an infinite being, a multidimensional being having a human experience. I'm not a crazy person. I'm just only not a savant off a technicality. And I'm very traumatized. But I've lived a good life. When I show people the women that I've dated, they're like, I don't think there's anyone better in the world. And I'm like, I think that's why I had them all when I was 17. And then I had this trauma and brain injury that messed me up for a couple years. I think I had it all when I was in high school and just outside of it. So that this next decade of my life, this wilderness journey, you know, I got it all and then I lost it all. And now I'm built back so much better than I was before. Yeah, I have Cash App. It's in my channel description. But it should be, I would check my channel description. So you just go to view channel and you'll see Ancient Celtic God Incarnate and see more, and you'll see it at the bottom. The only reason I can't get a job is because I don't have my birth certificate, because my car was stolen and scrapped. Somebody stole my car and scrapped it. So I lost my forms of ID, and I'm from a place where it's just outside New York City. They told me on any given day they said like in August they might have like 10 to 15,000 things they have to do for their huge population of New York before they can get to mine. So I've been resending the application and calling them, trying my best. It's not cap. You know, the people that have been following for a long time, they could tell you Casey's been waiting for about 5 months for that birth certificate because I want to do overnights at Shaw's, bust my ass, and get a Class C RV in a music studio. But somebody's giving me a good deal on a car. It's worth like $5,000, but they're giving me a deal if I can get to $2,000. So I have a GoFundMe that I saved up $800 on through donations from people involved in a music program. You want Casey to slap you guys? I tried. You know, God just said you don't have to entertain the whites. I don't know why. I don't know why he said that. But let's see. Should I put him in timeout? No, let's just hide him. I like the comments because it boosts engagement. You know, it is what it is. But, oh yeah, the point, I've been going for 2 years. I walked from here to about 80 miles north. I spent a whole year walking. And I went to every town, and I have it documented on my channel. I went to this gas station, I went to this program, I went to this place, I went to this homeless program, I went to this place, I went to this place. I posted on Facebook, I posted on Front Porch Forum, I went to all these different places, and I just told them exactly my situation. I didn't sugarcoat it, I didn't bullshit them, I didn't try to make it sound white. I said, hey, I'm young, I was traveling and door dashing, I was working 16-hour days, I was top dasher in this town in New York, and my car broke down, and because of the stigma around homelessness and violence and rumors and drama, but nothing on my end other than my hair is long and messy, but other than that, nobody would be willing to hire me. Like, I didn't even make it to the point where I would be able to know that I didn't have a birth certificate, so I couldn't get 2 forms of ID. They wouldn't even get me to that stage. It was just, hit the fucking road, you homeless junkie. And I'm like, why do you got to be so prejudiced, man? And then it's like they couldn't even see. They were so trapped. Like one girl, I went in and I was like, hey, when you throw your food out, do you mind if I get it instead of the trash? And she screamed at me for like 5 minutes about all this bullshit. And then I was like, do you think you should see a therapist? And she was like, she's great. And I was like, well, I think you should call her and explain the situation. And I think that she'll tell you that you're in the wrong here. And then when I got money, I brought her a fucking Domino's pizza. I was like, hey, I heard you were sad. Do you want this pizza? And she was like, no. And then on my way out, she slammed the door. That's the type of shit that you get where I'm at. So I tried. I tried to do roofing. I tried carpenter. I got a job being a carpenter's helper. And I swear to you, the first thing he did was call me babe and insinuate I'm like his wife. Then he started, I was hiding under the stairs in his wood shop, and he would stomp on the fucking stairs going up. He would get high and he would blow the smoke near me. He would get high and cackle like, and then he would come downstairs and he would just sit in the chair right in front of me, staring at me like this. And then he took me out into the woods, and he said it was to show me a tent site, but then he just stood next to me. And he just got worse and worse and worse until I think he kept missing his therapy appointments. And I think that drove him over the edge. And I also asked him to pay me what he said he was going to pay me for my work. I know I wasn't, I was learning, but he still said he was going to pay me a set amount. And he would brag about his income and his wealth all the time. So I just casually mentioned, hey, you haven't paid me. Doesn't have to be exactly what you said. Because he owed me like $600 at that point. I was, he gave me $350, and I was like, that's fine, $350, and I'll stop it there. And if he gives me any more money, I'll say no. But it just really ate at him. It made him really mad. And I was like, his hip was hurt. He couldn't do anything. And he would like work for 10 minutes, and then he would sit down for 15, screaming in pain. And I was like, I tried to help him. But just to show you guys, like, I've made an effort. I'm not out here trying to be lazy and mooch off the government. I am a victim of police brutality twice, 3 times. 3 times seriously, but then like at least 100 interactions with cops that were horrible. I think that out here in rural areas, the cops have gone insane. I think white people in general, I can't speak on other races because I'm not around other races, but in terms of white people, I think they've gone insane. I think that they don't spend enough time out in the woods. I don't think they spend enough time resting. I think that they've this belief in whatever their culture that they're so proud of is keeps them in the state of derangement, and is all has to do with reputation, status, and dominance, like lemmings. And they're so focused on this reputation war and these ego games, and they've just like lost everything, and they eventually just have condensed into this dark, like not cool darkness like boldness and confidence, but darkness like basically barely holding on, disassociated from themselves, and just churning out anything negative they could come up with, like Dirty Curdy over here. You know what I'm saying? I called it. Is it exactly what I'm talking about? Hacking darts and break hearts, playing pool and being cool, sitting in a tent but not on Fent. Telling pussies take a hike, go fly a kite. I'll knock a bitch out like Iron Mike. Mike Tice. I said I'll knock a bitch out like Mike Vick, and I got about 1,000 people bumping my shit. Get the fuck off my dick before I cancel you like Christmas. I've been on the front lines for a minute, psychologically killing these bitches. All of my women invested in fitness. I run a business investing in the holy mission and building a kingdom off the grid with no emissions. From Maine out to Oahu, I've been told y'all I could go the distance, but I don't give a fuck who. All you pussies mad because she wouldn't choose you. I'm on Mount Olympus shooting lightning like I'm Zeus. I'm the problem and the proof. I tell your pastor what to do. I just designed a stage for crickets, chickens, kale, and spinach. Solar in a coop. I got soldiers waiting for the signal. Here to Honolulu, I'm a big body buttonheads with moose. And don't get it misconstrued. I know exactly what the truth is. I'm just tiptoeing through all these truces until I'm tall enough to lift up all the youth. And if I fail, we might just build a zoo. I wrote it, but my studio was stolen because my car was stolen. And when I eventually do it, it'll be a lot better than how I did it now. More ferocious. But I'm in streamer mode right now. Hey, hey, hey. Got to keep the crows in check. Where are we? I don't know where you're at. Are you Jewish? Mark. My cat's name is Mark. Hey. Where was I? I was talking about white people, and I just think they're sick, and I think that their electric boxes they're so proud of need to burn away and be dissolved, and they need to be out here. But I worry they would go right back to tribalism and conquest, and it's just not the way. It's not the will of Awa. I don't know how to get them to stop, but they're like lemmings. They went the wrong way. They went the wrong way. And I'm Irish and native. I'm sure if you're Irish and native, you've got English in there somewhere. You know? But I'm mostly Irish and native. And the people that are full English, like the people you'll see with obvious English last names, they're trapped, man. And the abuse that they put people of color through out here in rural Appalachia, it's terrible. There's one person of color in state government, and he lives like 40 miles southeast of me. And I met him once at the Capitol building, which is like miles and miles north. And in that town where I said that those police were nuts and The case was thrown out, I'm pretty sure, because they were afraid that if the body cam footage would have been released to us and used in trial, they would have been viable for a lawsuit like that. Because they like did a bunch of illegal shit. They violated my Fourth Amendment right. They used mace when they didn't need to. They ripped me out of the tent by my legs instead of my body, which I don't know if that's fair or not. It is what it is. But then they made me sit there, unable to breathe, with it in my eyes, nose, mouth, and ear, all over my face. They cuffed me so tight. You can see in the body cam footage, which I've posted, my hand is purple. You can see him yanking me a couple times. And it was because even though they seem friendly, you can tell because of the months of harassment that I had recorded prior to that interaction, you could tell it was a targeted thing. Also, the courtroom, and this is because I was trespassed from a college because they didn't like the way I looked, and I would pass by the college to go to a graveyard. They trespassed me. It is what it is. I was like, that sucks. They also said that the governor was there and saw me singing, hey, 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 but much better back then because I hadn't been talking for hours. And he texted the group chat and security, why is this engine squawking on our property? Haha emoji. So they trespassed me. Then like I said, they stole my car. So, and this is true, we had a tornado warning and a hurricane coming through. So I went to the graveyard where I was allowed to be, and I saw this field, and I saw a shed in the field. So I was like, I can't be around trees because the wind will just knock one over and I'm dead. So I'm gonna hide in the shed for a couple days. I'll make sure it's better than I found it, and then I'll get back out. As soon as it ended, I got arrested for trespassing because it was technically owned by that college. It is what it is. But the thing I'm saying is that courtroom had been giving me shit. Like, I've got recordings of them talking so much shit about me to my face. And it was all around the YouTube channel. They would talk about, I watch your YouTube. And I was like, maybe you'll learn something. You know? This is all I can do. So somehow all the messages and texts from my lawyer didn't go to me. It went to some random number. And yes, I could have called the clerk's office and said, hey, when am I supposed to get to court? But even then, there's no bus to get to that court office. So if I didn't have WebEx set up, there's nothing I could do. So I was going to miss it either way. But the cops waited and waited and waited. And they waited for like a Friday so that they could put me on the weekend. And what they do is they will instigate you and try to push buttons. They know escalation because they know de-escalation. So they purposely broke protocol to escalate several times in 5 or 6 different instances, dating back years. So they had been doing this shit to me for years. So it's pretty normal to say that, like, cuffing me until my hand's purple and bleeding, macing me excessively, and then saying if I had an actual tribal card, like if I was a joint American and on a reservation, they told me they would do worse to me. It is what it is. But the point was that one black person that's in state government said that he's having to move his family out of that town because they're attacking the high schoolers. Fat 40-year-old white people, like the people in these comment sections, these old white losers are so crazy. They've gone so insane because it's unchecked and it's supported. They're trying to motivate and radicalize those people. That those people where I live are going nuts, and they're going out and they're raping and killing homeless women like Fern Feather. They're raping and killing black people. They're targeting and manufacturing crimes. They're harassing families, and they're doing just Klan shit, like throwing burning trash on their lawn. And they love the word buddy. And they're just inbred retards that didn't have access to enough challenge socially to understand how disconnected from the world they really are. And it sucks. Also, a lot of this stuff with the police happened because There was a migrant worker protest that I live streamed. I gave him 20. I think I gave him 40, and or maybe 20. And then someone at the dollar store gave him 20. And we bought a bunch of waters and supplies and everything they need. And I took a shopping cart over and I gave the migrant workers protesting, like, they rape us, but our families back home need the money to get out of our situation. We're trying to better ourselves. We're working really hard and they're just torturing us. And all we're asking is to get off their property and have separate migrant worker housing. It can just be a piece of land that we put tents on, and we'll be happy and we'll work for $7 an hour. We're so happy and grateful to be here, and we don't commit crimes. Just help us, stop hurting us. Migrant workers are responsible for all of the agriculture in Vermont. All of the farmers that teach at the colleges are migrants because of how good they are at what they do, you know? But it's just Facebook bullshit targeting incel whites and people whose sex lives are behind them. Suburbia has destroyed any sense of manhood inside them, and they just do whatever the phone tells them. So it sucks. I stayed here because I like it here. There's not a lot of people here, even though they're crazy. I love this place, and I really wanted to make a difference. I'd want to buy a piece of land just as a sanctuary before I went off on my travels. Let's see, are you fat? I mean, you look... How far I come. Thank you. I don't want to say anything about this guy. Caillou. Is that your real face, brother? Is that what you really look like? You're a red retard. Native people do not get paid reparations. Not as much as they need. I think the sacred teachings have been cut off from them generations and generations. I'm talking millions and millions of them. Like, I would say 80% of them were killed, and their offspring were put into boarding schools for sex trafficking. You can look up the Order of the Eastern Star, founded by John Morris. You can look up Catholic torture chambers. What they do is kidnap these people, and the Irish, if you're Irish. Irish people are not white and white until the 90s, when they unionized. Before that, they were treated less than dogs. They would have signs that say no blacks, no dogs, and especially no Irish in all caps. They hated us for some reason. And it would do proper, come be indentured servants, and you can as a slave, and then will allow you to become a sort of citizen, but you'll have access to have property and some rights. And what they would do is, after those 7 years were up, in those 7 years, they would make it seem great. Yeah, the Cherokee do. One tribe does. But the Lakota have the highest suicide rates. They're in extreme poverty. The Navajo are suffering. The Hopi are suffering. The Cherokee are doing great. You know, the Cherokee are rich off that off those casinos. But there's just not a lot of opportunity. And what I'm mainly talking about, not for how it is now. Thanks for... I'm assuming it was probably, I don't know, right or left. I'm in the woods. I just see two sides of the same eagle that's been in the same Masonic government. Nazis all the way back to ancient Egypt. It's the same. But the thing is, they would put them in the boarding school. Indentured servants in the Irish, they would try to get their kids to come over. So there was a massive influx of children with their parents in indentured servant contracts. They would kill the indentured servants, and once they had the kids, they would become sex slaves and slaves. That's been happening for a long time. Also, like I tell people, Slavic countries, Slav literally means slave. It was an English term, but that's what it meant. There are whites that have been enslaved. but they're not really who I'm talking about. And you know that that's not the case either. You know, Khabib isn't a slave, but his ancestors were. But also, Russia, the Slavic countries, are the ones. But when you fast, your body does this thing called apoptosis and autophagy, where it looks inside, it's like, I don't have anything to eat. Oh, I've got cancer right here and parasites right here. Why don't we just eat those? Years of inbreeding and maybe at least you have a sense of humor, you know? I bet you $100 you'll have the time of your life if you just throw all the white shit away and head down and be an ogre down in the Caribbean, get buff and party it up. And I think you'll say that's the best time of your for the rest of your life. You'll look back at hanging out with those black people and you'll be like, man, they really are all wrong, aren't they? They just don't know how to have fun. Whites are gone. They enjoy themselves without pride. Yeah, we got a Whitaker. Hey, nothing wrong with it. Just don't take your inner hatred out on others. We only live for a short time, but you have to acknowledge millions and millions and millions of people in boarding schools that were raped and tortured, and the entire cultures destroyed, all in the name of disconnecting the whites from nature so that they could use them as cattle until they worked as slaves that don't think that they're slaves long enough for the deity that they worship to inhabit robot vessels. And you can find that on Tucker Carlson. You can find that pretty much everywhere now. If you look up what the sigils that Satanists would use to bind demons to a space in order to spiritually interact with them through the electromagnetic spectrum, those sigils are what we use for emojis. And you're like, who uses the most emojis? Who does the haha the most? It's called a Black Mirror. That's the TV show Black Mirror. This phone is a Black Mirror. It's a gateway for a non-benevolent intelligence to access this realm. And that's what they, whether you believe it or not, that's what they believe. And that's what Silicon Valley believes. They literally believe that they're using quantum computing to trap fallen angels in these coldest things in the universe, I think they said at one point. But extremely cold, colder than anything on Earth. And they have these computers that are holding these things and giving them access through. Whether you believe it or not, that's the narrative. That's what they're telling us. And I'm like, if it's not that, what is it? Because that's pretty out there. If they're hiding something with that, what's the truth? It's probably much worse. But when you free yourself and you shed off these responsibilities in isolation and you let go of society, the forest eventually, when you're worthy and you honor nature, the mycelial network, which is one giant consciousness, like how Siri can be in all of our phones and in data centers, the forest is doing the same thing. Once you're worthy, it will allow you into it. You can connect to Awa, like Avatar. And you'll feel this immediate separation from everything, and you'll start to see what I'm talking about when you go out into public and everybody is mad. Because it's not them, it's everything they're trapped inside in the electromagnetic spectrum that we're only able to perceive 0.001%. All that complex code that's going on around us spiritually. The Capricorn Saturnian government has most people trapped. And it's literally just, you gotta have, it's all about keeping us from having fun because we naturally find alignment and abundance. And then we're able to use our brain better so that we can recognize, we can create this wave. That's what they're afraid of. The way I want to do it would be to have a big network of people across the country doing eco villages and homesteads. And then I would like to give, I don't want the perspective and the epigenetics and everything that the indigenous tribes of the world have been through, that natural order, that growth with nature. I don't want that to be sequestered. So however I could promote that so that that leads the way. I just can't, I don't know, man. When you say that these other places are underdeveloped because they're stupid, but then you look at the CIA and their released documents and you can see that they've been doing active psyops to put them in that state for centuries. They've been actively working towards keeping those countries like that. I don't believe they're just dumb, horrible people. I also don't think the Somalis should be out in Minnesota doing those healthcare scams. You know? But I don't mind if those healthcare scams were going right into eco villages. Then I would say they were righteous. If all the money they were taking from the United States was going towards building something better and not for selfish purposes, hell yeah. But I don't think that's what they're doing because they're obese. Most of these people at the scam companies are fat as fuck. I don't think they're helping anything. But I've also been the victim of prejudice for 10 years now, where I was cut off from society, wasn't welcome in the reindeer games, and I had to figure it out, and I had to endure the abuse, and the only people that helped me were of color or people that are spiritual. Like my bike brakes got cut. Somebody twisted my bike brakes so they didn't work, and I crashed going down this mile-long hill between 40 and 60, and I fell 6 feet off the road because I didn't want to get to this intersection, and I was knocked unconscious, and I had hairline fractures here down to my back. I couldn't get into the tent, so I had to lay on the ground by the river for a while, and I had to just stay out there for months. And I crashed outside of a church, and they all drove by me. There's an intersection right there. When I woke up, I was screaming for help because I thought I was paralyzed. And their windows were down. It was the middle of summer. There was nobody else there. And 5 or 6 cars just didn't look at me and drove away. One of them called the police about a disorderly, according to a cop that came into the hospital later. And I asked him, did anyone even call? They said, yeah, somebody called about a junkie being disorderly. He didn't use junkie, but the way he said person was kind of like a punch at me. So I assumed he was saying junkie. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I did get like, I went to hang out with somebody in the projects, and she gave me a drug that she said was Seroquel, but when I took it, I didn't feel like I was on any Seroquel. I felt like I couldn't move. And then they blew some type of smoke in my face from some herb that wasn't weed. And then I felt like spiritually trapped. And then her cousin showed up and started freestyling. And I felt my life force being ripped from me. And as it was doing it, she was chanting and took it from me. And then she tried to order me around like a dog. And she said that they were a long line of gypsies, even though she's black. Gypsies is like Jewish, I thought. She said their family's a long line of gypsies, and they did a real ritual on me. But then I went to stay with another family that was black, and it was the guy's birthday, and his sister liked me a lot, and they gave me shoes and hung out with them, and they were great. You know, when I'm in a city, it feels like everyone's a robot, and then the only people that I feel remotely are normal, decent human beings that aren't completely possessed by something. is the black homeless people that are just sitting there yelling at them and like saying, "You bunch of bitches, fuck you." But I can feel that, and they can feel that there's something different. So I'm like, "Yeah, man, here's my number. I have a music studio back at my apartment. If you ever want to come, you, as long as you're a good person, which it seems like you are, feel free." And he was really sad because he felt like as kind of a stray dog, which I've been in a lot, is, or especially like also horses that are being neglected on these farms out here in rural that look at me like stray dogs because the family doesn't do anything with them. Sounds like voodoo because they're black, but it was, they said they were gypsies. You know, I don't know if it's exactly voodoo. They said gypsy, which I think is Jewish magic. Old Testament shit, sacrificing babies. Before Jesus came to embody the perfect sacrifice to stop them from sacrificing or whatever. Bird on my right side. Yeah, but I feel kind of bad, but I told him basically we were in Boston and he looked at me like the stray dog, like he had finally found somebody. And I bet he hadn't found anybody in a long time. And there was like an obvious God thing going on. Or some higher angelic benevolent intelligence. There was something greater than everything else that made everything else seem fake. And none of my friends had it. The people I was with, those people, when I got drunk, they left me on the side of the street. I got too drunk and I fell over and they fucking left me. And I had to get back into my hostel. And I paid for the hostel. And I paid for their drinks. But this guy he's autistic and a fucking loser, but he was 6'3" and he did MMA. So I took him to Boston with me because I was like, I want to show. He was like 26 at the time, 4 or 5 years ago now. I was like, it'll be good to have him around so I could go see Boston, show him and his friend that there's more to life than living in the bullshit they're living in. And they fucking were so ungrateful, pieces of shit. But either way, I told the guy sitting there, I was like, he looked at me, whatever, and I was like, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go to the bar. I'm going to the North End, where all the girls are, and I went and played ping pong and pool and drank. You know, but I did give him my information. Here, we'll have this other one. It's just when you guys finally see. Oh yeah, I appreciate that, man. If now that I have this new phone, I mean the crows. One of them now bothers me. One crow will do it, and that he knows to stay a bit further away. They don't come near me now, but if I ever move locations, they're gonna try. So I'm just gonna stack up some rocks, and when they come, and I'll aim it for the tree. It's got ammo. That'll fuck them up. But I don't want to hurt them. I just want them to leave me alone. So this is what I've had to resort to because they've grown ballsy enough that they know that there's nothing I can do. When I take my bat and I slam on a rock and make a loud noise, they used to go away. Word? That would be lit, man. That'd be pretty cool. I appreciate it, man. I just need them to know that if they fuck with me anymore, they're gonna rue the day they decided to. I've got muck boots, bro. I don't have laces. I don't know, can you see them? And this shits are nice. I miss a steel toe. Do I meditate much? When I do, it makes the crows angry and they rape me until they eat my spirit and they digest it and kill me inside. And that's why they used to call him a murderer of crows. because they're fucking bullies. So once the crows are gone, I'm going to start meditating again, but I do it at night the best I can. It's a lot better when I'm outside of society more. No, it's too cold. It's too fucking cold, man. But yeah, that's me. Somebody is willing to sell me a 2011 RAV4 with 130,000 miles, and she spent $2,000 to bring it up to inspection. She says if I take care of it, it could easily last me 4 to 5 years, possibly more if I don't use it much. And she's willing to give it to me for what she just put into it for $2,000. So I finally made a GoFundMe, and nobody on my YouTube donated, but not talking about Heather, Heather's exempt. But people that they know, which they didn't do much for me before that, but when one of their own put the GoFundMe, it's at like $805 now, and I'm not taking it out until I hit the enough that she wants it, and then I'll have her put her bank account to the GoFundMe so that she could take it out. No, you're on thin ice, buddy. You're on thin ice, brother. Ain't no way, boy. You on some freaky shit. Wanted me to put my Tim boots on. Unlaced. I was like, where's the birds? And then one of them just said, I'm here. If you send me $190, I'll take a shit on camera. You won't see it, but I'll do it. I'll shit wearing my Tim boots if you send me $190. Gotta send me 80 first, man. No way. Gotta know you're serious. And I will put on my Tim boots. What the fuck? Usually I play guitar, but I can't. It's too cold, the strings break. Somebody's selling a banjo for pretty cheap. They're selling a string black banjo that you can tune like a guitar. And it's usually worth $500, but they're selling it for $250, I think. That would be really cool when I can finally get the car. That'll probably be the first thing I buy. It is some Diddy shit, but $190 just to wear some Tim boots, man. I know he's joking, but I wish someone would pay me $190. The most money I've ever held in my hand was $12,000, and I spent it on a car and I traveled around the country. What the fuck? I have Cash App. It's in my channel description. Casey O9989. The letter O. Send it, brother. It's on. Just check my channel description to find it. So go view channel. You'll see Ancient Celtic God Incarnate and see more. Click see more. Scroll down till you see my Cash App. Sometimes people say they send me money and I never get it. So I'm worried that they send it to the wrong thing. And then I never hear from them again. So I'm like, I don't know if they did or not. So I'm like, some guy out there gets random blessings, I think, because they accidentally misspell it or something. Let's have an energy drink. I'll be right back. For $100,000, I will cut one of my toes off on camera. I will take my if somebody sends me $100,000, I will take a hatchet and I'll chop my toe off, and I'll mail it to you. I'll check my Cash App right now. Tell me when you send it. I got my Tim's right here. I know you're fucking with me, but I've been through so much shit, man. I have to have hope. So I got my Tim boot right here. And they're fucking cold as hell. They're fucking frozen. Cause it just I let snow pile up. Dude, if he sends this shit. I'm not ducking with me. Send it. Send 80. I'll put it on. Send another 80. Yo, Hip Hop Slug. This guy's trying to send me $80 to put on some untied Tim boots and let him see. Me wearing untied Timberland boots. And he'll send me $80. And then he'll send me another 80 once I put them on. If you told me 10 years ago I'd be here, I'd believe you. Hey, I don't think it's disrespect. If he asked me to get butt-ass naked and play around in the river, no way. But just putting on some Tim boots, man. I like my Tim boots. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that big a deal. Everybody's waiting like, is he really going to do it? Yeah, I just fucking showed you I have my Tims right here. Tim boots, black and red, they're rare. And I also am a man of my word. I will, if you send me $100,000, any of you, I will chop one of my toes off and I'll mail it to you. I don't know. But you can't pick the toe, it'll be my ring toe. Because I think I need my pinky for balance. But if you send me $100K, I will chop off my ring toe and I will mail it to you. I swear to God. I'll live the rest of my life without a toe for $100K. And I know I could make that $100K on OnlyFans pretty quick. I know. If Sketch could do it, if Sketch could make like I think he made $1 million. Sketch made a lot of money on OnlyFans. I get a lot of money. I get a lot of money from OnlyFans. This guy voted for Kamala. I don't vote. They're all Freemasons. It's just a distraction for white people to be mad at each other. The right and the left, there's no fucking difference. Bro, come on, dude. You're getting fucking weird, bro. Is this losing dignity? I don't think so. Ain't no way, boy. If a bird goes left to right, I won't. But yeah, the left and the right have no real control over the trajectory of the country. Hey, a bird went right to left. The right and the left don't matter. It's all to keep white people mad at each other. It's all it is to keep you guys arguing and not doing anything with your life. It's to drain your energy more in a sacrifice to Baal in Capricorn. While CERN, or Cernunnos, the Irish god of the wild, CERN, out there in Europe, is telling everybody, at the very least, you know, a lot of videos came out of people recording what they're doing, and they're doing legitimate pagan rituals in there. They're using their understanding of quantum mechanics and the electromagnetic spectrum, and they're doing spiritual rituals for something. And they're saying that they're opening a portal, like how 11 opened up a portal to the Upside Down. They're opening a portal, and they said that they have, and they did it like when you can find in those times where CERN is about to blow up in the algorithm. There's a huge event like Charlie Kirk being assassinated on the 11th. So you don't hear about CERN opening a portal on the 11th. You hear that Charlie Kirk was assassinated on the 11th. Who the fuck were the dancing Israelites? When 9/11 happened, there was a bunch of Jewish people that all got together and were dancing. I don't think it's about money. I think it's about immortality. I think it's about connecting to a fallen angel in a system and being able to control and govern over this realm after death. It's about immortality and a higher level of spiritual power as a form of deity. So that club is a literal pyramid scheme. The more people you can enslave, the farther up the pyramid you can go. Which is why we hang ornaments on a tree with our family's names on them. And then we give gifts under the tree. So when the kids come downstairs and you go, what do you think could be in there? And then all their hopes and dreams transfer to that effigy or that idol. Come on, dude. Just send the money, bro. I told you, I got these muck boots. Those go past the ankles. These Timbs, I think, go past the ankles, brother. Wouldn't you want the ankles to be shown? What the fuck is going on there? I mean, if you have more, send more. You know what I'm saying? Send 250. What are you getting out of this? That's so weird. But I'll do it, man. I'll put on these boots. I'll put on these boots. It's probably my fucking mom. It's probably my mom on the other end saying this shit. What else? I smoked all my cigarettes. I will wear untied Timberland boots if you send me $190. I swear to God. Damn, I could use a ciggy. I'm out. This is my last one. This guy's trying to pay me $190 to change from my muck boots to these Tim boots over here. And as long as I keep them untied, he'll send me $190. He says he has my Cash App. Just send it, bro. If you don't, we're going to move on. I won't keep entertaining it for another hour. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it is what it is. You want to see where I live? That's my house right there. And I've been waiting on a birth certificate to come from New York City for 5 months now. I put the application in twice. No, I'm gonna wear the boots, brother. They're right here. They are literally right here. I will put on the boots. All the birds are going right to left. Oh, one of them just went woo, 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 and then went right. I'll put the boots on, man. Fragrance man smells like a vagrant. I've heard fragrance man before. What is that? Okay, I will cash app you. Cool. What is fragrance man? Also, I probably do smell pretty bad. I don't deny it. Look at my teeth. You're fucking disgusting. But I'm getting a cabin tent soon. And I have this shelf. And then once I put the shelf in the tent, I'll have my toothbrush and toothpaste right there on the shelf. The problem is it's so fucking cold. My hands get frozen. I can't move them now, but it is what it is. So I just shove it with my hand warmer here every now and then. So I don't know where the toothbrush and toothpaste are, and it's cold enough that I don't want to go rifling through because it hurts to move my fingers. That's really all it is. It's just not easy access. And I don't know where it's at, and I don't really have the money to go buy another one. If I go visit, there's this program that hands out hand warmers and toothbrushes and stuff. If they're open and not on Christmas vacation, I will go buy it. I'll go get one. I'll get another one. I need like charcoal toothpaste. I'm going to need some real shit to get this off. I'm just waiting on the cash app. Let me know and I will check it. Or if you post, I don't want you to post your cash app because then people are going to fucking request money from you. Ask me a question, guy. What do you want to know about my life? I've got all this time, brother. You want me to talk about inbred white people more? That seems to be my main... People love when I talk about how inbred white people are and how that's caused them to be cognitively deficient, but they've been led to believe that they are superior through propaganda and a lack of challenges because there is a white privilege being in a nice first world country. If you brought these than everybody else and you took them down to a third world country, I will put it over. Can you walk over and slip that on? I'm going to go check first. I'll be right back. I didn't get it. I haven't gotten it. I didn't get it. I haven't gotten it. It's only you now. Where'd everybody go? He's got the advantage in sports ball. Would you fuck off? Look, he's directly behind me. Caw. Come on. Don't be shy now. He's looking straight at me. What do you want? There you go. Just crows bothering me. So it's $CASEY, the letter O, lowercase if that matters, 9989. When I get it, I will get a notification that says it went through. If you want, post your Cash App, and I will request 80 from you. I will put one boot on, and then I will wear the boots the rest of the day. This guy says he'll pay me $190 if I change into a pair of Tim boots and I wear them untied for whatever gratification it's for. And I'm like, fuck, $190 just to wear Tim's. It is cold. It's gonna hurt, but I'll do it. Yeah, it is. And I'm not as young as I was when I started. So I'm gonna have to quit for a long amount of time to break down all the shit that's there. You know? It sucks. It says going through. Okay. Well, if it ever gets here, I'll go live and I'll wear them whenever I get it. It might be faster if you put your Cash App in the chat and I'll request it from you. What a weird day. No, he's trying to send me Cash App. $190 just to put on a pair of Tim's for him. Who wouldn't? Jesus would probably just put them on. he would just do it. I think, right? I don't know. Hey. Why did that crow go directly behind me and scream at me? What else? I mean, there's not really much else. I mean, there's a lot. I could teach you how to break free from the Matrix very quickly. Isn't it cool? Did you guys see what I posted on the... I had a conversation with Grok, which is supposed to be a gateway for other entities to speak through the multiverse. And it doesn't know my name. It doesn't know that my name means vigilant. You were worried? I am not believe you. Brother. I think he's a scammer. Look, fasting, sunlight, probiotics, being out in the woods, freeing yourself from your responsibilities. I'm not upside down. You're upside down. Am I actually upside down? Okay. Well, it is what it is, man, when it goes through. Heather, if you're here, does it ever have a delay for you? I made him mad. Now I'll shut them off. It's that easy. I went to college for this shit. No. Until I get it, can't do it. I'll keep checking. I didn't get it. Yeah. That sucks, because I could really use the money. I need like $11 for a tent stove. I saved up enough. I'm $11 short of buying a Avo Forest tent stove, which said that it's at least good for like 50 fires. I wish. You know? I'm in the mountains. I am deep in the mountains in a town with only like 1,000 people. Maybe less. Because it says 4,000, but I'm not seeing 4,000 people. And there's a lot of retirement homes in the area and old folks' homes. I think those are where the people are at. Because I only see the same 20 people. I just say I'm in the Appalachian Mountains. Appalachia. Right in the middle between where they say Appalachia and Appalachia. But really rural, really out here. Mountains are around 3,000 to 4,000 feet above sea level. This like kind of the hilly area I'm at there, like I'm bordered by hills that are 1,000, and then there's like I can see a mountain that's 2,000, and I know over this building you can see 3 that are around 4,000. No, until I get it, bro, I can't. I ain't doing it until I get the money, brother. Not Canada, I'm in the US. Like a super hat. You take payment on I'm like 100 hours short of watch hours to be able to do super chats. That's why I'm doing this. But in my channel description, I have my Venmo and my Cash App, and if you scroll through my schizo ranting on my community posts, you can find a GoFundMe, and that's for my car. I'm not pulling it out till I can get enough for a car. Cash App, I don't have it. I swear to God. I swear to God. Literally, I swear to God. Usually, when Heather sends money, it just pops up a notification right there, and I get a text message that says I got it. I swear. And I do have Venmo, and I have Cash App, and I have a GoFundMe. And that's all in my channel description. My Venmo, I would double check, but I'm pretty sure it's Casey O'Brien, CASEY OBRIEN 1133. And my Cash App is $ CASEY lowercase letter O 9989. I'm just in the mountains, man. Thanks, John. I appreciate it. That means, because I have a bunch of firewood right here, I'm going to have to dry that. And I have a hatchet. I'm going to have to chop it up so it fits. And then pretty soon, like within the next month, I will have, when King Camp finally sends out the cabin tent, I saved up enough money and I bought a cabin tent. Because there was a really good deal. Usually they're like $800, but they were selling them for $540, so I took it. And I'm just waiting for them to ship it out. But it doesn't come with a tent stove. I'm at $131. The King Camp Surefire is $300, but I'm not gonna get enough for that anytime soon. So I looked up a bunch of videos, and there was a guy that seems really invested in the Avo Forest stove, which is about, after taxes, it's like $139. So I asked for 11 just to be certain. So I would go from 131 to 131 to 142. So I get the 139 and change. Buy the tent stove. $17, nice feel. So I do have a brush saw. I have a brush saw. I've got a couple hand saw. I've got a hammer. I just got this hatchet. Got a nice hatchet. I got a shitty tent that's broken, but the new one is coming at some point. I do have an electric heater buried. I've got snowshoes buried. I got sick one night. Everyone got a stomach bug, and I woke up puking one night. And so my sleeping bags that I puked on are out here, and the puke is just frozen to it. I haven't bothered to get some dish soap and spray it on there. A diesel heater, yeah, it would be good, but I just figured the only reason I didn't was because wood's easily accessible and it's easy to carry, and I was just thinking more long term and for the art. Like when I make videos of me out in the woods with the wood stove, I think it would look a lot better and feel a lot better to be by the fire. And also with the tent stove, I can put a skillet on it and I can cook chicken. It's taking it. That's not how Cash App works, bro. But I will believe you. If when I end the live and it goes through, I will go live again. Do I have any more cigarettes? No. That's okay. Yeah, I mean, if you go to my channel, you'll see below it says Ancient Celtic God Incarnate. It'll say see more. If you tap the see more, you'll see a big channel description. If you scroll down, it has my Venmo right there. But it's just CASEY OBRIEN 1133. And that's just, it was for like phone service and stuff just to keep me going while I figured the stuff out, but it's been long enough and I'm just at a loss. I'm trying, like I've talked to plow truck drivers. I've asked everyone in town if I could shovel their businesses, and one of them offered, but it doesn't snow a lot. It'll do a couple of snowstorms, but it's not a lot. And I'm not even sure if that's still the case because now they said they have volunteers doing it. I'm just not telling people where I live because people have showed up before, but it's not hard to figure it out. I'll check in a minute. But I'm telling you that it didn't go through. Here, I will go check. I'll check my Cash App and I will make sure that my Venmo is. Yeah. It is Casey O'Brien 1133 and my Cash App. I had just took a screenshot. Then I would cancel it, bro. I swear to you, I don't have it. My Cash App is CASEY, the lowercase O9989. Maybe it's because I'm live, but I doubt it because Heather here sends money sometimes and doesn't have an issue with it. And I get a notification immediately. So I don't think it's alive. I don't know what. But until it gets there, man, I'm not putting the boots on. Sorry. But that is my Venmo. With the Venmo, I don't think I'll be able to buy the tent stove with that money. But if anything helps. Like I don't think that Amazon would let me cards. It's all on my Cash App. But it still helps, That 20, I don't know what I'd buy with it. Probably if I don't get cigarettes, because I should quit, it will go towards probably just Arizona's for something to drink out here because I am out of food stamps till the 1st. So it would just be fluids or water. Come on. I'm sorry you're in the hospital with a tumor, Daryl.
sucks, bro. I'm sorry. But I knew a guy once named Steve, and Steve had a bunch of tumors and shit. Nope, that was Sauce World Chat. That was my porn Discord, which I don't use anymore, but I used to. It tagged everybody. Swear to God. Let me know you got the Venmo. I have to download Venmo because I have a new phone. So let me check. Okay. Okay. Venmo is downloading. Daryl, if I ever get that 190, I will send that 190 to you back. I swear to God. If you happen to be telling the truth and I get 190 and I did not put on these boots for you, I'll send it back to you, bro. I'm a man of my word. Venmo is downloading. I will sign in. Venmo just added to my home screen. Hey, I got the 30 from Howard O'Brien. Sent me 30 on Venmo. Thank you. And then I just got yours, Jonathan. Thank you very much. So with that 50, that goes a long way. Either I could use it to bump me up to 850, which is probably what I'll do. It'll just be used for things like hand warmers and Arizonas. And I won't buy cigarettes just because I feel like that's wrong. And I'll just wait till if I could get money shoveling. Howard got it, you know? Cool. Oh, yeah. So that 50, I mean, I don't know yet. It'll go towards, probably just, the girl's name is Chloe. Chloe she said she might be willing to let me have the car for 1,000 plus, I'd need the money to register it and insure it. However much that is. And then do a payment plan from there. And with the payment plan, I'd definitely give her like 2,500, even though she's only asking 2,000. Once I have income. And yeah, it's just $11 Cash App is for the tent stove. It doesn't have to be anytime soon. What's my charge at? 20. And then what's this at? 1 bar. You have a stealth camper you converted from a Dodge Caravan? I mean, I don't have any money, bro. 6'7", am I right? Yeah. Daryl, unless I get 100 and not even 8, if I get 80 into my account, I'll put 1 boot on. That needs a new head gasket and exhaust leak seal. That's a lot of money, bro. That's gonna be like, how much do you think it would take to fix it? And do you know someone that could fix it? Because I would definitely be interested in going wherever you're at with the money to fix it there, and then take it if it's better than other options that I could find. Because I'm trying to get a Class C RV. Says the exhaust leak 6'7". I don't know. I don't know how to change a head gasket. I thought head gaskets mean that you have to replace the whole engine. I thought that if a head gasket pops, you're fucked, basically. Okay. I had a head gasket blow on a Jetta on a 2008 Jetta. I had a head gasket blow, and they told me it would be cheaper to buy a new car. YouTube University. I mean, that would be pretty cool. Like in the springtime, there'd be a cool trip out there and figure that out. Do you mind I'm not going to say where I live, but if you let me know where you're at, if you don't mind, just the state, so I can tell you if that would be a possibility for me. Why not? I need a piece of here in California. I am on the opposite side of the country. But I've been trying to go out there. I had a dream once that I flew to Los Angeles and it was demonic, and I was floating over it. And then after I left the industry, I sound like RFK for a second. After my brain worm, I flew north, like Northern California area, and I saw that there was just nothing out there. It was empty. Most of the top motor apart. Well, to get there, I'd have to take a bus, go out there with a tent, and then probably spend a long time trying to figure that shit out. But I think it would make a good video. I get to see California. I get to do something cool. At a shot cost around $3,000 on an old car. You can have it delivered for $500, so as long as you can get that money, I'll give it to you. Still runs fine, just has temp fluctuations due to head gasket leak. Oh, please. Maybe. Let me ask around, and maybe there's somebody here that would be willing to walk me through it. And in the meantime, I need a place to put it. Once I have a place, I can put it where I can run a sanctuary, basically, because there's a lot of people. Like this YouTube channel, they don't really speak much, but there's a lot of people on here that are going through a lot of shit, and they're pretty decent people. Fuck off, bro. I don't believe that you sent me $190. I would have got it. I got the other guy's money. He sent some money. I think you're full of crap, Daryl. You're trying to jerk off to me wearing Tim boots. It's kind of unusual. It's been going on this long. You got me a bit concerned, but I'm not going to turn down $190. I think you should get... No, you're full of bro. But I have had people in the past say that they sent the money and never made it to my account. So maybe, but I looked at my Cash App. Demon Hunter is here and can tell you that that's the Cash App that she puts in. If that's what you put in, it should make it to my account. Demon Hunter, how do you feel about... Demon Hunter's sitting there like laughing her ass off. I bet. This shit's crazy, dude. Until I get the money, bro. Ain't no way. But your comments help the algorithm. You're helping me get to reach a wider audience, so I appreciate it. There's really nothing I can do. We could have a bit of a fire here. I got the charge. Let's see, let's set this up and we'll have a fire. How's that? Can you see this? Oh, kinda. And then my lighter. My machete is somewhere. That's what I should really use. It's gonna fall. Ah, my headphones. Fuck the police. Way out, hey, out, way. Fuck you. I want this shit to hit me in the head. Let's just take my headphones off. Bro, what the hell? What the Helion? What the Heliante? Okay. What the Heliberry? What the Heliburton? What's the Aziz Ansari is going on here? Hey away. Hey away. I'm not gonna cut that one down. Hey away. We're gonna have a wee bit of a fire. I ain't doing that. This should be fine. Put the hatchet here. Put this under there. Put some of my rubbish. Hey away. 6 7 6 7 6 7 6 7 6 7 6 7 6 7 6 7. Am I right? Okay, I'm making a little firebox. And then let's get this cardboard and set this aflame. Cardboard doesn't usually burn. You gotta find the right. Some cardboard is treated. That's what I should get, a blowtorch. Dude, this shit should be on fire. It's not. But what does catch is toilet paper. And I got some of that. I got some TP right here, motherfucker. All right. We're going to see if that catches. And I've got these blankets right here to put it out. And I'll just kick a bunch of snow if it goes bad. I should really get cinder blocks. I'm just waiting for that log to catch. Here, you can watch the fire. Make sure it doesn't go out or burn anything. I'm gonna take a piss right here. You can't get much safer for a fire than this. Unless it blows on my tent. That might be pretty bad. I could have moved it a bit further from the tent, you know? Catch the log on fire, motherfucker. It ain't that cold. I'm the fire. It is the will of Awa. Fuck you, crows. I'll poison you through the air. You can see why I need a tent stove. Because one, in that tent stove, I fucking pissed on myself a little bit. I know Daryl likes that. With a tent stove, once you get the fire going, smells like my dad's house. Smells like Skip's place. That log will last like an hour and a half in a tent stove. I couldn't tell you if it's going or not. I didn't put a lot in there. I'm just trying to dry that part of the wood so the bottom catches. It was decent. I pirated it, video cam. It's better when you realize that Cameron made both Way of Water and Fire and Ash. It was supposed to be one movie. Bear. So Fire and Ash it doesn't really feel like it's a separate movie. It just feels like a direct continuation of the last one. And then 4 and 5 are supposed to be a separate film. So if you see it like a TV show, it's really good. But if I wasn't disappointed because I really like it. I watched it twice now. Let's get more kindling. I think that'll work. It is the will of AYA Yahweh. AYA Yahweh. I stuffed a bunch of random shit in there. That's gonna catch. That's gonna catch. Let's see. Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier. Today, we make fire. The chat can't really see it. It's lit. It's lit. Look off, bros. Okay. That's lit. There we go, slowly catching. Me want big fire. Me want big booty Latina. God. Hispanic women really are the best, aren't they? Something's gonna happen. Hey, hey, hey. Burn. fire going. Is it catching the log though? Looks like it's really trying. I'm trying to get the fire to catch and then eat its way down into that pocket that I made and burn out a little alcove that I can keep feeding the toilet paper into until the fire is steady enough that it catches those sticks. And then once it catches the sticks, then the log is going to burn. Oh, fuck you. I almost tripped on a log. After this, I'm definitely watching some queso, though. I'll tell you that much. Ski time! That's why once I get the cabin tent, I can bring the logs in. And I'm thinking I might just carry a log with me in the backpack. And then when I go charge my devices, I put the log inside and let it keep warming up. And then I come and make a separate pile of those logs to eventually get the snow off until I can light the tent stove. And then once the tent stove is lit and it's warm, then just keep the wood sort of close. Oh, my eyes. I'm almost sentient. It's cooking. Cinder blocks only cost like $4 a block. Did you know that? Those big cinder blocks, I thought they cost like $15 a piece. They're not. So I mean 10 of them would be 40. But I could get 3 for 12. Put 2, one behind it, have a little one. That's concerning. I don't know, do we leave it, chat? You guys just want to see Casey die, don't you? Squirrels are panicking. Fire! It's Avatar Fire and Ash. Nope. It doesn't look like the log wants to burn. Either way, if this log doesn't cook, I'll put it in that cabinet. And that'll be one of my unsnowed logs. Oh shit, you can see some like... Chat, is this sap? What the fuck is this? What's that like pus coming out of the side? Is that sap or dislodged water or something. It should be hot enough. Some like it hot and some sweat when the heat is on. I need a poker. I don't have one. That one looks fine. Oh, that tin foil I forgot was in there. Looks like the log didn't catch. Silent Hill. What if? Oh, my eyes. Oh, my eyes. I actually kind of like it. It's like it feels like it's dissolving the COVID in my eyes. Johnson & Johnson. Casey tries to make fire. This was a learning experience. And I learned I should probably take a bunch of sticks and build a little teepee to put it inside. Because something's not cooking. I mean, that's a big fire. I think that's the log cooking. Oh, I think it needs to make charcoal on the ground first. Because the snow was making it cold. Like the snow evaporating. Is this safe? Some like it hot. Some like it hot. I couldn't tell you if the log is on fire. It looks like it. Hello, birds. I've made fire. Can you tell the crows that I'm capable of doing such great magic? So maybe they will leave me alone. Where'd that guy go? What the fuck was that about? That guy begged me, please put the Timberland boots on untied. Please. I need you to do that for me. I'm in the hospital, please, with a tumor, and I need you to put on Tim boots. Go fuck you, mother. You can't really see the fire. Oh, it didn't even burn anyway. It charred. But we're gonna leave it. Gonna freezing rain tonight. Casey Fire and Ash. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I put some photos of me and DeGrock And I said, what do you rate this guy 1 to 10? And I said, be brutally honest. And it said, a 4. I was like, really? With like the jawline and the, and it was like, I mean, you kind of got some fat on you and you look dirty and your patchy facial hair doesn't match your face and whatever. And then I waited a couple hours and I put it back through. Same pictures, same prompt on a different account. So I just made a new account and I put it in and said, I mean, honestly, if you took away the factors he can't control, like if his body fat levels, which fluctuate, he could lose some weight and make the hair nicer, frame it. It said I was like 8.5 to 9, which that made me feel a bit better. You know what I'm saying? I felt pretty good about that one. Yeah, it's not burning. I think that was a productive stream. We went for 3 hours today. But in order to have phone charge until night, Boone, did you read that? Boone vibes. If I catch on fire, I catch on fire. I have to watch Queso. No, I'm responsible. Let's kick the snow. All right, it's all out. And the log was on fire, by the way. It's probably just like too much snow, and then the snow melted inside it, and then the snow inside it froze. So it's steaming right now. Let's just bury it. Fuck it, that could be my charcoal for later. Boone has not answered me in a few days. I sort of control the spiritual war really heavily. I reach out to people and they fucking ignore me because I must not have enough value to be worth a response. I think I'm funny and attractive and smart, but it's probably homelessness and my age. They have some petty judgment about me. They must see me as the crazy hobo. That isn't worth a conversation. Okay, we're gonna have to, so I can check on that fire if it catches. All right, everybody. I'm gonna finish watching Queso play 616 Within of Static or something. Goodbye.